You've been very fortunate enough to travel. I think you've seen different markets across the world. What is the one thing that you think you can improve on, or you've learned from those markets that can be implemented in the local markets?
Yeah, so one of the models that I like is what the Italians use, you know. The Italians are very, how do I put it? They're very passionate about their food. They love it. In fact, I was being told any Italian who opens a restaurant, like I was in Rome at some point, and another village like in the south and north, when I go to restaurants and want to understand that, they say this: if you open a restaurant, people will come day one. But if your food is not okay and the ingredients, that is as good as dead on that same day. Yeah. The Italians, what I like about the Italians, which actually we are also in collaboration trying to do an interesting farmers model that we're learning from them and trying to localize it, is these guys have very strong farmers union. No one messes with the unions, and they're very political. And every politician must have the farmers' interest for them to be voted. If you do not have a farmer's interest, forget it. Politicians go to farmers' markets and shop. They touch base. And if there's a problem, they're like, we will advocate. Oh, I remember there were issues around like these multinational food companies and corporations, you know, like Starbucks, for instance. They would say McDonald's. They make it so hard for them to operate in that country because they believe if they allow them, the farmer is the one at risk. So what happens, they will come and dictate prices. They will come and, you know, they will even import. Yeah, I mean, like we were here, we saw potatoes being imported from Egypt. What was so difficult, or what is so difficult in engaging consumers in Nyandarua or whatever, where potatoes do very well? This is the kind of potato that we want. It has to be like this, da, da, da. Guys, can you produce this for us? And farmers would go back and they will produce and they will sell. So what they've done is they have the interest of the producer. People grow their own olives. And because there's little value addition centers in the community, I can take my olives to that little house where there's a food scientist and the equipment is there, and I can make my olive oil and I can brand it from there. I can pack it and I can store it there and I wait for my market. You know, I can get my honey, I can have it pasteurized, labeled, stored, ready to go. So there's a whole chain that is so connected that there's nothing breaking in between. And it's working for the farmer. I find people that is what they do as a profession. Every day they wake up, they will get their milk, they will make the cheese, you know, as a small family business or an individual business. So there's a lot of that. And they even create catalogs and books of just small olive producers, small cheese producers, their names, the name of their company, contacts, and someone can call you for delivery, you know. So we are not there, but it's very doable. And when you look at the commercial spaces for this value addition, they're not costing more than even 2 million Kenya shillings, you know. And why are we not doing that? You know, we do not have to do like this massive big hub to support a farmer. It could be small, you know, like, okay, I harvest my mboga. If I don't sell the whole of it, can I dry, blanch, package, and still sell at a later date? I'm not desperate to sell. I'm not desperate to throw. We see a lot of farmers, they have to, they don't sell out. They will either leave the produce in the market, you know, people will come and clean it out, or they will take it, go give it to the chicken, cows, or they will go put it in the compost. I mean, like after many weeks of work, many months of work, you know, like all that produce goes to waste. So we've got to figure out, and it's not that these things are not doable. They're very doable. I had testimonials of small producers that would make, even with grocery, somebody would make like 10,000 euros just Saturday and Sunday selling produce. Wow. Yeah, you know, it's a lot. You know, I've had people, they would sell tons of their wine, their olive oil, the olives just packed and vacuumed, you know, the cheeses and all that. And these are people that take kids to school, they're able to pay their health insurance, they're able to own a car, and they're able to pay even for the market stall fees. So it's not that what those guys are doing we cannot do. We can do it even way better. I mean, we've got many farmers. We've got a growing population. I don't see any challenges, But we want to see, we will be launching a new market model early next year. And we've borrowed a lot of ideas from the Italians, where the Italian Foreign Affairs Ministry is actually funding locally for that kind of market. So we want to see what that will do and see if we can take it all over. Other markets like in Germany, still similar model. Zurich, America is sort of like massive commercial, and for us, it's a question of, I don't find a lot of middlemen in those markets that I've seen. We call them, here is more than middlemen, it's more of cartels. Like if I go to Marikiti, if I'm not in good terms with the cartels, then there's no way I'm going to offload my sweet potatoes or my bananas from that truck. They will make sure I cannot. So if I don't pay the fees and all that, so it's something that I think if the government cares about these people that I call them food soldiers, they've got to, they know exactly what needs to be done.